Question number 6, Charles Chauvel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Corrections and asks, does she stand by her statement about the proposal to operate Wiri Prison privately, that, quote, the contract will have strong performance incentives, ensuring we receive a superior service compared to publicly run prisons, or we pay a lower price, end quote?
The Honourable Chester Borrows.
Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, yes. I'm advised that officials from the Department of Corrections are currently negotiating with Secure Future to finalise contract terms. Fundamental to the contract will be the need for Secure Future to achieve lower recidivism rates than the average for publicly run prisons. It will also face financial penalties if it fails to meet short-term rehabilitation and reintegration measures, including prisoner health and employment targets and custodial standards.
Charles Chauvel.
Speaker, has she done any cost-benefit analysis as to what the future costs of a lower price would be in the event that the prison does not perform on those grounds and actually sees increased reconviction and recidivism rates, as has been the case in Serco-operated sites overseas?
The Honourable Chester Borrows.
On behalf of the Minister, I can say that the penalty payments for failure to meet those targets are one aspect of the calculations that have been done. I don't have any more specific figures in front of me.
Asanati Lole-Taylor.
Tara, how are the public to have confidence in private prison service providers given that Mount Eden Corrections facility operator Serco have wrongfully released 2 potentially dangerous criminals into the community in the year to February 2012?
The Honourable Chester Borrows.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I believe that the public can have confidence in the ability of private providers. It's interesting to note that in the last 12 months, in the last financial year, there were 2 prison escapes. In this financial year, there have been 10, of which only 2 have been from private providers, and the rest from the public. The balance from public prisons. And it's interesting to note that in the last year of the Labor government, there were 23 escapes from publicly run prisons.
Charles Chauvel. Order. Order. I've called Charles Chauvel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I apologise to the member. No, I ask both sides, please. Both, it's mainly National and Labor that are making all the noise. I ask them, please, to come to order so we can hear Charles Chauvel's supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Why is the Wiri Prison business case on which the contract is now being negotiated based on a requirement for 2,065 new prison beds by 2020 on a forecast prison population of 10,306, when the latest 2020 prison population forecast is only 8,165? That is 2,141 fewer beds than the business case calls for.
The Honourable Chester Borrows.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I don't have that level of detail in respect to that supplementary question.
Charles Chauvel.
Supplementary question, sir. Since Wiri will add 900 beds to a system that is already thousands of beds in surplus, does the government still plan to lock New Zealand into a 30-year, $900 million contract to build and operate a private prison, with the inevitable result that thousands more beds in the public system will have to be closed?
The Honourable Chester Borrows.
Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, it's important to the government to have prisons where they are needed. There is a lack of prison capacity in the northern part of the North Island. In fact, there are 1,000 prisoners from the Auckland region which are housed in prisons outside of the Auckland region. There seems little point in maintaining prisons that are in dire need of closure because of their age and level of decrepidation in places like New Plymouth and Mount Crawford, when the need for capacity is in Auckland.
Charles Chauvel.
Question, sir. What basis, other than an ideological belief in the superiority of the private sector, does the government have for choosing Serco to run Wiri, given that it's already failed to meet 40% of its existing targets and is virtually certain to face fines payable to the Crown of $400,000 in respect of failures in running its existing site.
The Honourable Chester Morris.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, one of the benefits of having private providers of custodial facilities is the ability to have penalty payments for not meeting those targets which aren't available within the public system. Fact is that the taxpayer of New Zealand and those people within the prison system are the customers of private providers, and this government is holding them to account very well.
Point of order, Charles Chauvel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek leave to table the detailed Stage 2 business case from the Department of Corrections for the procurement of a new men's prison at Wiri through a public-private partnership.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 7, Jackie Dean.
Thank you, Mr.